What is going on, my friends? My name's Corrupt, and today we have for you Zap Lavaloon here at Town Hall 11. For those of you who don't know what this strategy is, this is a brand new meta attack using the brand new Lightning Spell, or I guess I should say the new reworked Lightning Spell. It is extremely fun, extremely easy to use, and it's extremely strong. Now, of course, it is going to come down on the base, but if you can notice a couple things, such as the CC, Eagle, Air Sweepers being really close together, you can zap them away. Now, what we're going to be talking about here first is going to be against the Eagle, CC, Air Sweeper, stuff like that, but we'll also show you guys later on how to deal with the Queen using the Zap spells as well, or I guess I should say the Lightning spells. So the biggest thing that you need to understand is the base identification. Here, because all of these buildings are so close together, we can drop a Quake spell and the Lightning spells right on top of it. So you'll see right here, we're going to drop in the Quake and then the Lightning. That upon itself is enough to take down the entire section there. So it's extremely important to exactly know that. You want to take advantage of it. Now, how do we get our Sui hero into the base? What we're going to be doing is we're going to be using a super wall breaker. We're also using the king to kind of carve out this area and drive into the base with the queen. We used a baby dragon up here to kind of direct both heroes into the base so that they didn't walk. So that's extremely important as well. So notice that we're not going for the queen. We're just trying to get the air defense, the multi-inferno. That's all fine. That's all we're just trying to get. Because once we start our Lavaloon, we're going to start it with the Stone Slammer, because that has an E-drag. So you may have already noticed that we're not going for the queen. That Stone Slammer holds an E-drag that's going to take that down. So keep that in mind. You want to make sure that you are knowing that. And also another thing that you need to know is the number of balloons per defense in order to use a Lavaloon. So on the left of me here, you guys are going to see the exact number of balloons that you do need in order to one-shot each of the defenses. Now this is mostly for the deployment part. So keep that in mind. So now when we're sending in our Lavaloon, we're going to be sending in the Stone Slammer first. It's going to go for any defenses realistically at the beginning, and then we're going to send in our Hound and go for that first air defense. And again, we want to make sure that we are soaking up any traps, making sure that we're tanking for any of the splash buildings and stuff like that. You'll see from here is that we are dealing with the enemy queen with the E-drag very easily. That's all you really need to know about using the rage, using the E-drag with them. And that's the only time that you should be using a rage spell here, is when you're dealing with the queen with an E-drag or even a dragon. Now remember, as you're going through, you want to pop your Warn ability as you're getting closer to the back end Inferno, unless of course the core has them. Then I would definitely use that when your loons and stuff are going into the core of the base. Other than that though, it's a very simple strategy and it really doesn't take too long. And as far as I can say, if you're planning on learning Lavaloon, this is the strategy that I would recommend. And we've got multiple other examples, not just this one, showing you guys other methods of zapping away different key objectives that are going to be extremely important. But notice how I didn't even say any key objectives here, because this is like a Sui Lalo, but instead you're using the lightning spells, and definitely the base identification there is zapping away key defenses and key buildings. So it's definitely something extremely important. But let's go ahead and move on into another example showcasing the Zap Lavaloon. Now, for those of you who only have level 7 lightning spells, then you definitely want to make sure that you are going ahead and using 2 quake spells. So in this example, I want you guys to really understand the use of using a Sui hero to kill the queen, and of course using 2 quakes instead of 1. So what we're trying to do though, again, is we're trying to take down the CC and Eagle artillery. Notice how we have a couple expos here, so it's going to allow us to get some extra value, especially on top of the air and ground expo, which is definitely going to be very, very nice. So what we're trying to do here is going to basically be just using our lightning spells at the beginning and then using the quake spells in order to make sure that we are going to be able to take down these 2 buildings, or I guess I should say these 4 buildings here. Once we use the next quake, we're easily going to take out both the CC and the Eagle artillery. That leaves just the queen alive here, but what we're going to do is we are going to use a Sui hero right in. So what we're doing is we're carving out a funnel from these two sides using regular wall breakers to get in, and then we can send in our queen once we have a funnel created. We're also trying to get this entire compartment down along with the queen in order to allow us to get some value and carve out just a small portion of the base. From that though, you can then start moving in with your Lavaloon as you already have that momentum driving you. So that's extremely important that you want to try and make sure that you're doing. You want to make sure that you're getting as much value as possible in order to clear through. So notice how we've already been able to clear roughly this part of the base, leaving us for the most part with a Lavaloon that's kind of like this. So that's what we're trying to do. We have an easy C shape of a Lavaloon. And again, you want to make sure that you have those hounds tanking, you're sending in the balloons, you have the warden right behind a lot of these groups. You want to make sure that you're hasting them up. I didn't really explain the hastes. You need to make sure, though, that when you're using haste spells, you want to make sure that you are using them to get to defenses like the Infernos, like you'll see here. They're going to use that haste, get around over to that archer tower, but still they'll definitely use that haste, and it's still very effective, even if it's not entirely used correctly. Other than that, though, you can easily allow yourself to get right through. Again, remember, the biggest thing that you want to do is you want to get those balloons to the key defensive buildings. Here, we're going to try and take down this air defense, so that's why we're using some hasted balloons to take that down. Then, of course, we are going to use the Warren ability, make sure that these balloons get to that multi-inferno on the back end, and it would be a done deal. That's exactly what you really need to think about when you guys are using this strategy, as you want to make sure, for the most part, that you are going ahead and taking care of the rest of the entire attack. So, sorry I voice cracked there, but still, it's a very simple way, and you guys can see how to use this with level 7 lightning spells. So if you guys are having trouble, you don't know really, you want to max this out, but you don't have a max zap spell or max lightning spell, then definitely this is a great option. Bringing in 2 quake spells instead of just 1 is definitely something that I would recommend. So for those of you who aren't maxed, who just upgraded to Town 11 and really want to try this out, as long as you have a max quake, or 2 max quakes, then you should be fine. Let's go ahead and take a look at another example, this time looking at the queen going down to the lightning spells. Now, for those of you who want to know how to take down the queen with the lightning spells, this is now your opportunity. So one of the biggest things that you need to look at is, for one, where's the eagle? Where's everything placed? Now, this is going to determine on where you think the best area is to lightning spell. You still want to take down the clan castle. In this example here, we're not going to be able to take down the eagle artillery. However, when we get our queen in range, right in between all of these buildings, we're easily going to drop in the lightning spells and take her out. This is an extremely viable method. Now, if the eagle was really close to the CC and of course to these air sweepers, it would have been just as effective if we did that. But of course, again, it's kind of in a line here, so we are going to have to miss the eagle artillery, but we're still getting the queen, which is a big part of this attack. And we're taking care of the CC, which is our main priority. So that's extremely important. We want to make sure that we're taking down that clan castle, and we also want to make sure that we're taking down the queen. So you'll see once the queen starts to hop right into range of where he wants to drop in his lightning spells, right there, takes down the queen. 1 quake is going to take care of the clan castle. That's all you need to know. So know that when you're using this, you need to wait for the precise time, then drop in your lightning spells. 7 lightning spells will take down the queen, so keep that in mind. So after you've taken that out, you can then start your Sui hero. Now in this base here, we already have easy pathing if we go ahead and clear out this bottom section with the Sui hero. What this means is that this allows us now to kind of have pathing through the base, kind of like this. So we almost have another C shape on us. So that's exactly what you're seeing here. We're using that Sui hero at the bottom, clearing up this, as I said, and then we're just using our Lavaloon all around the base here to easily get us through. That is exactly what you want to try and do with this attack. is you need to make sure that you are allowing yourself to have easy pathing. Lavaloon definitely requires pathing, so here is no difference. You need to make sure that you're getting your entire Lavaloon through. And notice how the attacker here is dropping in the lava hounds before or after he's dropped the balloons. Because those hounds are faster than the balloons, you want to make sure that you are staggering the placement of your balloons in order to make sure that they are getting the most value. You can see from here is that we're using a heal spell with our balloons as well. This is another viable way. It's just like a Suihiro Lavaloon. So you want to make sure that you're taking, any and all spells that you think are definitely going to be viable to bring. So stuff like heal's good, freeze is good, rage is really good like you saw earlier. So there's a lot of different ways that you guys can really use this strategy. And this really gives you guys a solid opportunity to really understand the use of it. So kind of breaking this one down for you guys very, very simply, easily, and allowing you guys to really understand ways that you can 3-star with this. Now, if you guys want to see more videos from the update in terms of new things that are coming out from the update that are going to become meta, then I would definitely suggest you guys subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you guys don't miss anything, and let me know what you guys want to see next. We already showed the super witches and we showed the lightning spell again. Do you guys want to see some headhunters at Town Hall 12? Let me know in the comments below, and I would definitely try to bring that one to you guys. Other than that, let's go and take a look at one final example using the Zap Lalo. Now, this last example here is going to give you guys an idea of how you guys can take down the Queen and CC and the Eagle Artillery. However, in this example, of course, the lightning spells are not maxed enough in order to take it down. And of course, he's only bringing one Quake spell, which is going to definitely weaken that Eagle, but it's not going to fully take it down. Now, again, when you're using this, you need to look for the precise placement. So all this is timing is key, like you can see right here. We are waiting for this queen to move right in between here. Once she does, you can then drop those lightning spells in. So it's all patience. It's all patience here. Once she moves right into the center, boom, he can drop the lightning spells, as you can see right here, and they'll take down the queen. However, they're only level 5. And once that quake goes down, it will take out the clan castle, but it will keep that eagle at a sliver of health. Now, we've already taken care of the queen and the CC. 2 big things to take down. So what is next? Well, we're going to be looking for the air defense. Now, this base isn't entirely maxed, but still gives you guys a solid idea of using the strategy. What we're trying to do is we're trying to take advantage of the use of this little hole here that's going to allow our ice golem to go in, but our queen is going to kind of move around the base and actually go right into that area, and that's going to allow us to go ahead and take down the inferno. If the queen does move in, she does still have her ability, but of course she won't, and that's realistically, that's completely fine. You just want to try and take advantage of different sort of design flaws more specifically. But again, you want to make sure that you're taking a look at, all right, where was that momentum? And because that momentum was kind of driven in here with the Suihiro, we can now go ahead and kind of Lavaloon our way around the base here. So that's what we're trying to do. We want to make sure that our Lavaloon is swift, it's easy, and we're able to easily get through it. So that's exactly what we're trying to do. So I will pause it from time to time in order to make sure to catch you guys up. But as we're kind of going through here, I want you guys to still really understand the use of the hastes, getting them up to those defenses, like the air defenses, like the wizard tower, stuff like that. We want to make sure that we are keeping up these balloons in order to make sure that they're going through. And you can see that because this eagle is on a sliver of health, just one balloon death damage will take it down. So we want to make sure that we are trying to get to that eagle artillery to take it down so we don't need to really worry about it. After that, though, we can pop the Warren ability, and realistically, our Lavaloon is sort of done after we've kind of cleared through about 70-75% of the base. Even though it's not entirely here, about 70% of the base is done, so this is a completely wrecked attack, partially because we still have the Stone Slammer and stuff like that up. So that's extremely important that you want to make sure that you're doing. Pay attention with your Lavaloon. There are 3 different things that you're doing. Zapping the zapping the key defenses and buildings. You want to make sure that you're doing your Sui hero, and then you've got your Lavaloon. And those are going to be your 3 things that you need to make sure that you are taking down. Other than that, though, this gives you guys a solid idea of using the brand new Zap Quake into Lavaloon. So, for those of you who are new to the channel, remember to leave a like on the video. It would definitely help, and I would definitely appreciate it. Also, feel free to go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss any content going further. On top of this, remember to go ahead and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and Trovo. Those are going to be the 4 areas I would suggest you guys follow me at, and feel free to join my community Discord server as well. It's a great place to hang out with me if you need help with base building or even attacking. I'm mostly active on there, so definitely feel free to join my community Discord server. And speaking of that, feel free to go ahead and join any of the clans I cover. Their Discord servers are in the description below. Feel free to join any of them if you think you have what it takes to join. Other than that, though, guys, that is going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.